Poor sanitation practices within our homes and communities cause the spread of diseases, leaving most homes always in dire need of health services on issues that could have been avoided only if clean and healthy practices were observed.
You can imagine that when we're talking about our communities, you've got a situation where refuse is everywhere, sewage is poorly managed, diseases are being spread, and it affects everybody, children, adults, grandparents. The problem with a community that has poor sanitation is that people are less likely to care about their community. And without poor sanitation, that poor commitment to community, there are high crimes, far more antisocial behavior. It all adds up. Once you begin to clean an environment, clean a community, people begin to care, and then suddenly they're on the lookout for everything else.
What are the diseases we can contact? What are the effects on families and communities?
Waterborne diseases. You've got your cholera, got your typhoid fever, dysentery, hepatitis A. These are all diseases caused by poor water supply. You've got soil-transmitted diseases, and these are diseases like worm infestations, and you've got the vector-borne diseases like malaria, Lassa fever, leptospirosis, dengue, Zika. Once you've got very poor hygiene in the community, you've got a lot of vectors, rats and mice and mosquitoes, flies. Then you've got the respiratory infections, skin and eye infections. Even you've got long-term conditions that are linked to poor sanitation. And I'm sure a lot of people don't realize that stunted growth in children, poor cognitive development can all be linked to poor sanitation.
Nonetheless, there are still people who are truly intentional about maintaining proper sanitation practices in their homes and communities.
Let's start with hand washing, having baths regularly, cleaning teeth regularly, and with girls and women, menstrual hygiene. Once we can inculcate those habits in children from a very early age, and then empower them to be able to create the environment that enables them to have clean habits.
Charity, they say, begins at home. How do you typically manage and dispose of domestic, electronic, and other types of waste? Do you know that improper disposal of these waste contributes in no small measure to health hazards and unclean environment?
Each person needs to be thinking reduce, reuse, recycle. Plantain scraps, yam scraps, and all the waste food, we put it into a place where we create a compost heap. You learn how to turn it, and that becomes fertilizer to fertilize your tomato, your pepper, okra can be grown, your yam, and so on and so forth. So we need to be able to clearly bag, make sure that your refuse is going into a container that has a lid. If we're doing recycling, let it be clear in the community, this is the area where to bring your plastic bottles and whatnot, tins and glass and whatnot, and they'll be collected by the Waste Management Authority. And at the community level, keep our eyes open. Thankfully, we're all carrying smartphones with cameras. So if you see a problem, see it, say it, sort it.
Health is wealth. No doubt, we all have our individual and collective roles to play in achieving a cleaner path to health for our homes and communities. Be more intentional about it today.